Okay, so I got a question on how I actually close the ports on my Atmoblue. There's a lot of states currently that require masks with no valve because valves don't really actually help this situation. So I actually closed mine off, and I've seen some reports on people saying that theirs does not actually move on the bottom flap. So in case you guys didn't know, there's a port on the bottom which is located right there. Let me actually show you guys. That port right here has a silicone flap on the inside, which is supposed to move outward when you exhale, so that way the air can actually escape the mask. Or when you breathe in, it's supposed to actually put a seal and make it so that port doesn't allow things in, and things are supposed to actually go through the filters themselves. So, me personally, I'm bad at trusting almost anything. So I decided to actually close mine up. Atmoblue also made a statement about that, closing that port up. So what I did was on mine, I have some of these mask filters, which are located right here. These are PM 2.5, which isn't nearly as good as the filters in the Atmoblue. So I decided to actually get some use out of them by folding these up. And then I put it in the Atmoblue mask on the bottom port right here. Now you have to make sure that you actually are in between the top of the front of the mask and the silicone flap in order to push that silicone flap so it stays closed. I did a kind of like two-part system to keep that flap closed, and I'll show you guys that in a moment. But after I put this inside of it, to make sure that this actually does stop the silicone flap from moving, what I did was put it inside, and then I pressed on here to see if this actually moved at all on there. So once I found out that it does not move, what I did was, so you'll have I had a bunch of stuff of this sticking out the top, so I actually cut that piece off at the actual, a little bit more higher than that, inside of there. So that way I had some stuff to kind of cram inside of there also. But that way I knew the flap was going to be closed. Now, in order to keep this from coming out while I'm running or while I am out and about, what I then did was I took a glue gun. This is a older one that I had. It has two settings. There's a low and then there's a high. What I did was put it on the low, and then I put a small strip on this countertop because it's glass, so it won't damage it. Or you can use another countertop that you know you won't damage, which is really, really good. You'll leave a smear, but also, so once I put it on there, I actually took like a wooden piece, let it cool down a little bit because I didn't want to actually have the hot glue kind of melt into the plastic on the Atmoblue or damage it in any kind of way. And then I pushed it in there along with the rest of that filter. So it created kind of like a mold of this opening right here. Now, what's really great about it is I got it just right. So if you can see right there, it's completely flush. So unless someone's looking from below me upward, they won't really see it. So it's not the prettiest, of course, but it's completely sealed on there. And I again tested the flap on the inside to make sure. So that is how I closed my flap on there. I wanted to do a 3D printing of like a mold or something, or design a mold, but I don't have 3D printer, so I can't test those things out. But this is the simplest and fastest solution I found to keep that flap closed. So if you, again, like my videos or have any other questions, make sure you leave it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.